Okay, let's dive right in. Welcome to The Explainer. So, if you've been hanging around the personal knowledge management space lately, you absolutely know there's been this ongoing struggle, right? For years now, we've been trying to figure out how to seamlessly integrate advanced AI with our highly customized, deeply personal notes. And let's be real, historically it has been a super clunky, often frustrating experience. Well, a tech release just dropped that fundamentally changes the equation. It's completely transforming how we interact with our digital second brains. We are talking about, finally, actually bridging the gap between powerful AI agents and that beautifully interconnected web of thoughts you've painstakingly built in Obsidian. Instead of fighting the technology, you can finally harness it. So get ready, because today we are breaking down a brand new tool that hits the nail on the head and solves one of the biggest pain points in modern note-taking.
To really understand the gravity of this release, you just have to look at the numbers. 44,500. That is the number of stars this brand new, completely free GitHub repository racked up almost instantly after going live. I mean, in the developer community, those numbers are just absolutely staggering for a niche workflow tool dropping overnight. It tells us right away that this hit a massive universal pain point for thousands of users. And alongside those stars, it already has over 3,000 forks. Now, if you aren't super familiar with the term, a fork just means that thousands of other developers have actually copied the code to actively start building their own variations and improvements on top of it. So this isn't just a popular tool people are casually trying out. It's a foundational building block. The community is already rallying around it. People have been desperate for a solution exactly like this, and this massive response, it's a flashing beacon telling us we need to pay attention.
So why is the hype so incredibly high? It all comes down to exactly who built this thing. You see, this isn't some random community patch thrown together over a weekend by a well-meaning hobbyist. No way. This is a direct drop from Kepano, the very person who built Obsidian and currently serves as its CEO. He just released his own custom set of Claude skills. And why does that matter so much? Because usually when a third party tries to build an AI integration, they're essentially just guessing at the software's architecture. They often cause the AI to hallucinate, or worse, just break the delicate structure of your files. But when the creator of the platform builds the AI integration himself, you know it's going to work on a foundational level. That pedigree guarantees that the tool understands the very DNA of Obsidian. It fundamentally respects how the software operates, simply because it was written by the guy who designed the whole shebang.
The really crucial point here is understanding the core problem kepano solved. If you've ever let a generic AI touch your vault, you know the absolute horror of watching it confidently overwrite your carefully crafted metadata, obliterate your tags, or just completely break your intricate wikilinks. It happens because standard AI models, they just don't understand the unique syntax of Markdown files. But this release changes that entirely. It's essentially teaching AI to speak the native languages of Obsidian. It's giving the AI a crash course in how your notes are actually structured. So this ensures your AI agent deeply respects real formats. It recognizes your callouts, your internal links, your front matter, rather than just blindly replacing them with generic, flat text.
So how does this actually look when you're using it? The workflow breaks down into 4 elegant steps that map out the journey perfectly. First, you start with Claude, serving as your baseline AI agent. Then, step 2, you empower that agent with these newly released Obsidian Skills. Step 3, those specialized skills are applied directly to your second brain, your personal vault of knowledge. And the ultimate result? Step 4, effortless. The whole goal here is to make AI interaction completely frictionless. What does effortless actually feel like in practice? Well, it means you stop being a prompt engineer, constantly trying to format your requests perfectly. You get to go back to being a thinker. You aren't fighting the tool anymore. Instead, the tool is finally working quietly and seamlessly for you in the background.
Let's peek under the hood and dive into the technical engine of this release, because breaking down exactly what superpowers you're giving your AI is fascinating. There are 5 core skills at play here. First up is Obsidian Markdown, which lets the AI safely create and edit your Markdown files while perfectly handling your custom wikilinks and properties. Second is Obsidian Bases, giving the agent the power to edit .base files so it can seamlessly update your views and filters. Then you have JSON Canvas, and honestly, this one is genuinely mind-blowing. Imagine asking your AI to read a dozen scattered notes and then visually map out their connections on a canvas board for you, adjusting nodes and edges completely on its own. Fourth is Obsidian CLI, allowing for deep vault interaction, which is an absolute dream if you're into plugin development. And finally, sitting right at the bottom, is a highly unique and incredibly useful skill called Defuddle.
Actually, let's zoom in on that last one for a second, because Defuddle solves a massive headache for anyone doing web research. It basically allows your AI agent to extract beautifully clean Markdown directly from web pages, deliberately stripping away all the clutter. Why does this matter? It all comes down to tokens. Raw web pages are incredibly messy. They're packed with invisible tracking code, massive navigation menus, and just countless ads. When you feed all of that raw data into an AI, it eats up your token limits incredibly fast. That slows down your processing, and let's be real, it can literally cost you money. Defuddle acts as a built-in clutter cutter. It's sort of a bouncer for your vault, protecting your token limits and keeping the AI focused only on the actual information you want to read and save.
Now here is what is arguably the single most exciting feature of this entire release. Get a load of this quote. Drop them in once, say, summarize my notes on Carpathy. The right skill fires on its own, no config. Think about how rare that is in today's tech landscape. In a world where setting up an AI usually means wrestling with API keys, downloading weird dependencies, and tweaking complex JSON files for an hour, this is just a massive breath of fresh air. These tools follow the agent skills specification. That means once they're installed, they require absolutely zero ongoing configuration. You literally just speak to your AI normally in plain conversational English. The AI analyzes your request, looks at its new toolkit, and automatically grabs the exact correct technical tool to get the job done. It is genuine, intelligent automation at work.
So you're probably wondering, how do you actually get this engine running on your own machine? Well, you essentially have two main avenues, depending entirely on how you prefer to manage your tech stack. On one side, we have the lightning-fast automated routes. If you use a marketplace, a simple /plugin install command gets you up and running in seconds. Alternatively, you can use NPX, which, if you don't know, is just a simple built-in command line tool for those already comfortable in a terminal, to pull the skills straight from GitHub. But for those of you who want total, granular control over your local environment, the other path shows that manual integration is fully and officially supported.
Let's break down that manual setup for a second. For the power users and privacy advocates tuning in who want their AI completely localized, air-gapped, and entirely under their control, the process is incredibly straightforward. If you're using Claude Code, you simply take the contents of the repository and drop them right into a hidden /Claude folder directly in the root of your Obsidian vault. Super easy. For Codex users, it's just as simple. You copy the skills directory right into your Codex path, which is typically found at //codex/skills. And if you happen to be running open code, all it takes is a quick git clone command to pull the entire repository into your //opencodex/skills/Obsidian Skills directory.
And hey, there is a brilliant quality of life feature I want to highlight specifically for the open code users out there. Auto discovery. As long as you clone the full repository rather than just copying the inner folders, OpenCode will automatically discover all the specific skkill.md files the absolute second you restart it. You don't have to touch your settings files, you don't have to write out any manual file paths, you literally don't have to make any configuration changes whatsoever. The skills just instantly wake up and become available for your agent to use. It is a remarkably elegant setup process that completely respects your time and just gets you back to your actual work faster.
So we've covered a lot of ground today. We've seen the massive community hype, we've broken down how these native skills fundamentally protect your files, and we've walked through just how effortlessly it all integrates into your daily routine. Kepano has essentially handed us the keys to a completely automated, native AI workflow tailored entirely for our most personal data. We are crossing the threshold right now from static, manual note-taking to having a dynamic, thinking partner living directly inside our vaults. So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to ponder as we wrap up today's explainer. Is your second brain actually ready for an AI agent? Because the tools to make it happen aren't just some promise for the future. They are here right now. They're entirely free, and they are just waiting to be installed.